Let's start with questions.
Okay,
Coach,
yeah.
Coach, do you want to have a
I
statement?
really don't have much opening statement other than thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting our players. Proud of them. We're going to miss them. I wish I could get a few of them back for another year or so, but we wish them all the best. They all look great. They're in really good shape. They worked really hard, so we're just here to support them and wish them all the best.
Mark, you said back on your last radio show that Drew was a guy who was getting a lot of interest. It seems like he's kind of rocketed up boards during this process. What about his game translates?
Yeah, I was just talking to a good friend of mine that's also a DB guy in the NFL, and a friend of mine I've known for a long time that's here. And we were just discussing Drew, and just, there's a lot of things that are good about Drew. Number one, he's competitive as heck. He's got the physical traits that you're looking for, but he's very competitive, but he's also very versatile. It's very hard to play inside, to play that nickel slot position and cover the type of wideouts that you have to cover. You also have to do a lot of different techniques, as you've heard me talk about through the years. There's a lot of nuances to that position, so it takes a bright guy and also have some instincts, and Drew has that, and he can also jump outside and hold up at corner at the next level. So I think that's why his stock is going up, and a lot of coaches like him.
Carrington was a mid-3 star who rose up, started, gets drafted, plays as a rookie. Now Drew's rising up as a little 3-star. Max, similar recruiting ranking. So is there a secret to that sauce, and how do you try to find the next guy to
Well, I think, you go back all the way to the corners that we had in 2000 and in 2020 and 21. We've had some guys, through the years, and Mike's having such a good career, and Lonnie and all those guys. So we've had some good defensive backs. It takes a lot of them, as you know. Last year in the bowl game, you get a couple hurt, and you could see some things that can happen. So you got to have a lot of DBs. But hopefully, I have a lot of confidence that Drew will have similar success. We're very proud of Carrington. To go, that's a deal that they got on him, to go as late as he did, to go play the way he has. But he'll play it out and get better and better every year.
Do you find that after a guy like Mike has success like that scouts are kind of sniffing around a little more? Like, hey, do you have any more of those guys?
No, I mean, they're going to do their homework and make sure they don't miss much. You know what I mean? They're here. I hope one thing that helps our players and our players understand, I'm very open with NFL teams, and we treat them very good, and they have a lot of access to this building because we have nothing to hide. Our players don't have anything to hide, so they see a lot, and and hopefully, I'm not sure all of our guys understand that or know that, but I know every scout that comes by, GM, coaches, they really appreciate the access that we give them because we feel like our players are prepared well and they do things right. They're not perfect, but they, we don't have anything to hide, and we give them a lot of access.
Ray's maybe a little older than some of the other running back prospects, but what is a team going to get?
Well, they're going to get a very good player with Ray. They're going to get a guy that, that could play every down. He's a 3-down back, and a very tough, great teammate, great person. They're going to get a heck of a player with Ray.
Speaking of the running back position during spring practice, how do you evaluate those guys when you're not taking them to the ground, right? Like,
yeah.
How challenging is that? What are some of the things you can look
Yeah,
at?
I think we'll be able to determine that as we go forward. Yes, it is different when it's truly live. We will have some of those days in some reps. I do have to be careful with the live reps in the spring right now. And we already had a few injuries, and so you got to be smart because we have a lot of time between now and the first game. There's going to be a lot of practices, so we'll be able to determine that as we move forward.
What kind of role do you think a guy like Devon can have?
I think Devon is a guy. I said it last year. It would absolutely not surprised me to see Devon be a starting quarterback in the NFL. I hope it happens. I know he has the talent. I know, him, myself, all of us wish, we had a little more, maybe another year with him. And there were some ups and downs last year, but he's got a lot of talent, and I think he's got a lot of good football ahead of him.
Obviously, you've got a lot of guys here today, but next year it's kind of shaping up to be a huge. You get a sense from scouts they're already interested in some of those guys.
Yeah, definitely. They're already looking at a lot of our guys and getting measurements and getting the background on some of these guys, and so. I think it'll be a big year, next year for us, and the guys have certainly worked hard and kind of, hopefully get out here and see this and know that they're going to be put in this position a year from now.
Do you feel like you see that from players when they know it's kind of a pay year, for lack of a better term?
I do. You hope so. You hope so. I hate to always go back to the Josh Allen, but when Josh decided to come back, the greatest thing about him and what players can learn from him is when he decided to come back, he was by far the hardest working he was for the first years he was here, first 3 years he was here, and he was the hardest working, player because he saw what was ahead of him, and I shouldn't say he's the hardest working guy on that team because we had some darn good players that year and guys that really I have great respect for, but point is once he made that decision, he worked his tail off, and Mike Edwards was in the same boat and several others.
Everybody good? All right.
Okay,
Thank y'all. Appreciate
thank
you
you.
coming out today. Thank you. We'll see you Tuesday again.